People trying to say I'm only in the meeting. Got a code with my dogs, can get in between. I can give them life, no more energy. Amen. Amen.
What is up, everybody? I'm here with my man JJ, and we got Sunday Night Football to talk about. And as we've gotten deeper into the season, these primetime matchups have just been getting better and better. For this one, we got the Chiefs and Texans, two teams that are surprisingly in dogfights to make the playoffs. JJ, how are we feeling about this game?
Hey, Casey's on life support. They got to do something here.
It felt like at the start of the season, they started slow, and it was one of those things where, oh, should we be worried about the Chiefs? And it was like, we do this every year. They're going to be fine. They're not fine. It's not looking good for them for multiple reasons. People thought all the problems were going to go away once Rashee Rice came back. They looked good again. And then they started to look not so good again. We'll get into where a lot of those concerns lies. And there's a lot of optimism on the Texans side. But let's start off with the touchdown bets, because that's what we always do. And the one thing to look at is, where do these defenses funnel touchdowns to? And we look at rushing touchdown percentage. What percentage of touchdowns are you allowing on the ground compared to in the air? And both these teams, Houston and Kansas City, rank on the higher end for rushing touchdown percentage. We see Houston here at 20th. For a large portion of the season, they were up in this top 3 range. The last 3 games only at 20%. It's brought it down a little bit. However, Kansas City themselves also rank at 25th or 8th highest. The last 3 games sitting at 33.33%. But nonetheless, both these teams, you're looking at the rushing touchdown aspect of it. So for the Texans, you're looking at Woody Marks and Nick Chubb. For the Chiefs, you're looking at Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. So that's all you really need to know for the touchdowns, except there is also one more aspect to talk about, and that is the fact that Rashee Rice is among league leaders in red zone target rates, despite the fact that he's missed most of the season. When they get in the red zone, if there is a pass attempt, the target of it is Rashee Rice. Not Travis Kelce, not Xavier Worthy. There's even been some rush attempts for him. The opportunity share for Rashee Rice once they get in the red zone has been absolutely ridiculous. So those are really the only guys you want to target in the red zone. With that being said, JJ, let's get into the run game. I want to talk about the Texans' run defense first, because that defensive line is a problem, dude. You can pull up whatever advanced stat you want to talk about. It's going to look good, and that's talking both rushing defense and just pass pressure. So on that side of the ball, is there any optimism whatsoever for the Chiefs' run game, or is it purely just concern and nothing but concern?
Yeah, I mean, there is some optimism. I mean, we didn't talk about it on camera last week, but, we're behind the scenes. Remember, I was talking about outside zone. That is the way. And if you watched the Colts play last week, the Colts had some success doing that. There's been some other teams that have some success doing it. And right now, the Chiefs are a zone scheme offense right now in the rush game. I think if they do get some chances out there with maybe Pacheco, maybe Kareem Hunt, I feel like Kareem Hunt's better like between the tackles, but so I'd probably go Pacheco maybe. But they need to draft a running back badly.
I think the thing that takes away any optimism on my end is the injury concerns on the Chiefs' offensive line, because Trey Smith and Jawan Taylor are both doubtful in this one. Yeah. So if you're already kind of fighting an uphill battle against a defensive line like this, and now some of your better blockers are out, it spells a lot of trouble. And this is a team that already wants to lean on the pass if they can. So I don't know how great I'm feeling about the rushing upside personally, but
shouldn't be, because I mean, if you're going between the tackles, you're not going to really have any success. The only chance you have is running outside of tackles, and I mean, even though they're a zone concept rushing offense, they don't run outside that often, so yeah. It's going to be tough.
It's kind of the vibe I've been getting, but on the Chiefs side, or the Chiefs defense side, I should say, Woody Marks has taken over a lot, pretty much all the usage for the Texans running back room. The issue is it has not been as exciting of an overtaking as people wanted it to be. There's a couple explosive runs here and there that show off his athleticism, but overall, the efficiency has not been great. A lot of runs stuffed at the line, whether you want to put that on him or on the offensive line itself. But nonetheless, no matter whose fault it is, the run game hasn't been ideal. And this is a Chiefs defensive line that I wasn't that high on in the run game to start the season. Kind of won me over a little bit more recently. What's your take on that side?
I mean, Houston Texans, I mean, look at the scheme, their man gap the last 5 weeks and also last 5 weeks, KC defending it, they're allowing almost 5 yards a carry against it. It's
Okay.
pretty surprising.
What do you know the stuff rate or anything like that for those specific concepts, or
Stuff
just
rate, I do not know off the top.
no worries, because it's personally this is the problem that I have with the Texans run game. I don't even think it's a matchup thing. Like, we remember what happened in that Titans matchup. That's one of the better running matchups in the NFL. And that was kind of the first week where everybody was like, okay, Woody Marks is taking over the backfield. We can bet on him. He gets a good matchup. He gets the Titans. Let's all go bet on him. I don't remember if he actually went over his lines or not. I know it didn't start well. I think he had like 30 yards in his first 10 carries. I know at the very least it was looking scary to start. So for me, I don't even know how much it is about matchup. I think it really just might be you're banking on a couple breakaway plays, and if you don't get it, you're sweating a little bit more than you want to be if you're backing a Texans running back in this one. So
Yeah.
JJ's
It's
a little
looking
bit more
like, well,
optimistic than me for the run game on both sides of the ball this
I
week.
wouldn't say so optimistic because I'm looking at the stuff rate. Per fantasy points, the last 5 weeks, Chiefs have the ninth highest stuff rate. And that is the biggest problem with Woody Marks. He gets stuffed at a ridiculous rate. The only time you're really seeing him get yards is he just breaks one off. But that's about it. It's kind of like Kenneth Walker early in his career. Like, you get like maybe get like 1 to 3 yards, and all of a sudden he gets a 27-yarder.
Yep.
You know, it's just kind of how he runs.
Sounds about right. And I'm
Except
looking
he
here.
doesn't break tackles. That's
Yeah.
the only difference.
So here's Woody Marks on the season with 10 or more rush attempts against his, I think we have this set at the 46.5 yard betting line. If we filter this for games against, if we remove the top yards after contact matchups, over in 2 of 4, but cleared pretty comfortably in 2 games and then didn't come close in 2 games. So it kind of goes with what we're saying, where you're either getting the big play or you're not. It's not going to come with a lot of like 4 or 5 yard successful runs. So at that point, you could just bet his longest rush. But I don't know. It's scary waters when you're betting on that backfield, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, for the much more interesting passing analysis, I think for both sides of the ball, at least personally, I'm more excited to talk about it. And we will again start with the Chiefs. And we mentioned a little bit already the offensive line injury issues for the Chiefs compared to how strong that Houston defensive line is. Houston, we saw it with Josh Allen, one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL. They were able to win with 4 and not let him break pressure. If he tried to scramble, they were there. They what is 7 sacks in that game? Something ridiculous.
Yeah.
That defensive line is unbelievable at getting to the quarterback. Mahomes is one of the better quarterbacks at using his legs and keeping the play alive. But with this offensive line, I don't know if he's going to have as much of a chance as he'd want to. I think it's going to have to be a lot of quick game, like 5 yards, get it out at a slant. A lot of Rashee Rice, a lot of Travis Kelce in this one. I think that's going to be kind of their path to success. If the run game isn't there and there's not going to be enough time to allow those deep routes to develop, it's just going to be 5 yards dinking and dunking down the field in the pass game. I think that's the best way to mitigate any sort of pressure, because if there's not enough time to get pressure, if the ball's already out by the time they get there, then the pressure rate doesn't matter. And you don't have to worry about the running game at that point. So I think that's the path to success for them. So I'd expect big Rashee Rice game, big Travis Kelce game, and just a lot of Patrick Mahomes throws. I'll get his completions log on the screen here, because this is his game log against teams that rank outside of, I think this is the top 12 or 10 in rushing yards per game. So basically taking out the run funnels, your Buffaloes, your Tennessee Titans, teams like that. And you can see he has 23 or more completions in every game except this Detroit game. The one thing to know about this Detroit game is Detroit also ranks as one of the highest yards per completion teams in the NFL. If we filter some of the top ones out for yards per completion, we get similar results. Everybody except the Giants, who is also a terrible run defense. So you look at teams that don't allow a lot of yards per completion, don't allow a lot of rushing yards, it's going to be all green. So I think we've seen this game plan from Mahomes in similar spots already. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it again. As far as the typical or the specific receivers he's going to target, JJ, does any of them stand out to you?
I mean, it's just going to be Rashee Rice or nothing, honestly. I mean, everything sets up for the quick game. Maybe we'll get a little bit more Travis Kelce, but I'm not too confident on that. I mean, just passing against Houston in general is really tough. You just have to think Mahomes is going to have to get the ball out in 2.5 seconds or less. I mean, the closest game to even compare to that is probably going to be the Colts game. But, I mean, I know they kind of blitzed them a little bit more in that. I mean, with Texans, you're going to be seeing 4-man rushes only. So the pressure is kind of like what you want to look for in that game. And usually Rashee Rice is like the go-to receiver and when he's getting pressured.
Yep. So looking at his game log, I mean, he's had 6 or more receptions in every game except one. In that one game, I think he was like Mahomes completed 15 of his 34 passes, something like that. Rashee Rice still had 7 targets against the Bills. Outside of that, 8, 6, 9, and 7 receptions. He's been frequenting the stat sheet pretty commonly. 9 or more targets in his last 3, 12 or more in his last 2, or 12 exactly in his last 2, I should say. The routes run obviously started pretty low versus Vegas with 7 receptions and 21 routes run. So the targets per route run is just unreal right now. And as long as Mahomes doesn't piss down his leg like he did versus Buffalo, the receptions are going to come with him. As far as Kelce, which I think is the only other possession type receiver, since Rashee Rice came back, he's over in 4 of 6 games. The 2 misses he had were the 2 most recent ones. However, if you filter for teams that allow less passing yards, which at the first sounds contradicting, but then realize that it's like, okay, you're not allowing those big 25, 30-yard chunk plays to Xavier Worthy down the field. That's where you see, okay, he's more involved than guys like Xavier Worthy. Because if we go look at Xavier Worthy with the similar type of filter, over in 3 of 6, if you remove the top 5 defenses, now you're looking at under in all 3 games. So with Rashee Rice there's not room for all 3 of Rice, Kelce, and Worthy to go crazy. One of them has to give. If this is a matchup that eliminates down the field action, it's going to be Xavier Worthy before it's going to be Travis Kelce.
I agree.
I think Rice and Kelce are the ones to go to in this matchup. On the Texans side, JJ, CJ Stroud returns. He's been missing the last few weeks. Davis Mills took over, did pretty good job. Did as much as you could ask for from a backup quarterback. Jaden Higgins is now a lot more in the mix now than he was when CJ Stroud was healthy before. Not really any Christian Kirk action. Nico Collins, it seems like his usage is back. Didn't have a great usage game last week, but in terms of the play calling and them trying to target him, the air yards and the targets seem to be back after a slow start to the season. In this matchup against Kansas City, who we know love to blitz thirds downs, love to play too high, what's standing out in this passing matchup?
Well, the first thing is CJ Stroud's not going to see a whole lot of man like he did last week, which is where he has a lot of success in his career. Against zone and pressure and too high, those are 3 things he struggles against.
Yep.
So I don't see much success here for him. I'm not too excited about the passing game. But I think Dalton Schultz's line is low enough that you can attack his receptions. I believe it's at 4.5. And I think he's hit it in 8 out of 10 games. He's been getting consistent targets. I mean, he looks like the clear number 2 target in this offense, probably since week 3 or so.
Oh yeah, it showed up a lot more when Davis Mills took over in terms of his usage. I don't think it was a Davis Mills thing. I think it was Christian Kirk being phased out and needing more of a possession receiver. We've seen Schultz have success with CJ Stroud before, so I don't think it's a quarterback thing. And this is a matchup. I mean, we've been targeting tight ends versus the Chiefs for how long? I think in this matchup, either last year or the year before, I think we were on a video, the same video, and we bet on Dalton Schultz in this matchup. So it makes a lot of sense to back Schultz here. As much as I love Nico Collins, we got the jersey right here in the wall of wagons. It's Dalton Schultz is my favorite one to bet on in this Texans offense. If I had a gun to my head, unfortunately I don't. Or fortunately, not unfortunately. Fortunately, I don't. So we don't have to bet on a receiver in that game or on that
Just
side.
blink twice.
Maybe that'll happen in another video, but not today. But I'll get Dalton Schultz on the screen here for you. Sorry I didn't have that ready beforehand, but we'll get to 4.5 receptions is his line. And if we want to target too high, which we know the Chiefs love to play, it's a lot of green, JJ. That's a lot of green.
It is.
We're just talking one game at the start of the season, the first game of the season. You eliminate that one and versus teams that run above average cover 2 rate. Chiefs run the 9th most. 2 + 2 = 4. I see a lot of green. I want to bet the over. So I think Dalton Schultz is in a good spot. We're going to disagree with the projections here, 4.05. Want to see how other tight ends have done in this matchup. Jake Ferguson got 5. Tyler Warren 5. Evan Ingram 4. Dalton Kincaid 6. Zach Ertz 4. I mean, these are all going over their respective averages. Mark Andrews 7. Theo Johnson only got 1, but it's the Giants, so who cares? It's just Brenton Strange 1, Sam Laporta 5. It's just a lot of tight ends putting up a lot of good numbers in this matchup, like we talked about, and Dalton Schultz should be no different. I guess I'll be the one to bring up Nico Collins since I already did. The usage is there. This matchup is not ideal, I will say. So it's one of those where I don't know if I'm going to advise the over or the under. But the one thing I do want to talk about is going back to those air yards, because outside of last game, and this goes back to even games before CJ Stroud got hurt, you consistently got back up to the 100 air yards mark. And with 100 air yards this season, he's over in too far. 3 or 4 games, 1 bad Seattle game. And I mean, he's a big play receiver, but he's a really, really good big play receiver. One thing that him and CJ Stroud seem to do really well is CJ Stroud hits him in stride. If he's hitting him 20 yards down the field, Nico's not having to make a play. He's getting in stride, and then he can go get those 5-10 extra yards that somebody that runs strong and is bigger than most DBs can go get. He's not really being forced to make these jump ball receptions that you're like, he might get it, he might not. So it does become more of a scheme thing. But if the play caller is doing his job enough to say, hey, we're going to pull some strings and make this target accessible, you just have to make the throw and make the catch, then it works out really well. And I feel like as much as this Kansas City too high structure and blitzes limits the big play potential at times and the over-the-top work, they do play enough man coverage to say, hey, beat your man, you can get some yak. It won't necessarily be on the sideline because it won't be cover 1 man, but they play more cover 2 man than most teams in the NFL. Pretty much not many other teams play it. So if you can win coming across the middle of the field, you got some yak potential. And I think if Nico Collins is going to have a good game, that's how it's going to come. I know you had one. Well, we have 2 other players to talk about in that receiving game, but you have one that probably nobody else is thinking of, so I'll let you get to that one.
Is it CJ Stroud you're thinking of?
No, I was thinking of Woody Marks.
Oh, Woody Marks. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, Woody Marks' his receiving game. I mean, when you look at it recently, like trying to figure out, like, man, why is his yard so low lately? I think it's at like 9.5 or 10.5, something like that.
10.5 is best line on Fanatics right now.
Yeah. When you filter for probably like 14 plus,
Routes.
probably routes run, I think that's where he's been at consistently this season. And then you look at cover one, then you filter out like,
You want me to filter
no,
out?
it was the other way. Yeah, the not yep.
Here we go.
That made it interesting to me.
I mean, CJ Stroud's not good against too high coverages. I think part of the reason is he doesn't want to take the easy option. He doesn't want to take the check down. Versus
Yeah.
too high, the thing too high does really well is say, hey, you're not going to have the deep ball. You're going to have to take something else. You're going to have to, it's probably going to be your second or third read. You got to find it. The running back is usually like the fourth read, that check down. He doesn't want to go there. He wants to put it in a spot where it's like, oh, I'm going to test out my arm. I can make this throw, but you don't have to make that throw. So I think that hurts the running backs a lot. I'm going to filter Woody Marks for games with CJ Stroud this season. And I mean, he's over in 3 of 6. The games are the Niners, Seahawks, and Titans. So do what you will with that information. But I've never watched CJ Stroud and been like, yep, went through all 4 progressions and then chose the check down. I feel like I've never seen that.
He'll gladly throw it away or throw it downfield.
And it's for better or for worse. Like, this isn't
Yeah.
like we're making this sound terrible because we're talking about a running back's receiving prop. But there are times where it's like, yeah, like there's not many quarterbacks that are making that throw and that might win you a game here and there. And that there is value in that. And the guys like Jared Goff have made a career out of not making those plays too. So it's a pick your poison. They cater the offense to the quarterback. But if we're talking about a running back receiving prop, probably it doesn't help Woody Marks is the only thing there. And the last one to talk about for me was Jaden Higgins, because we've seen his role come up a little bit more. He's consistently seeing 20 plus routes. The issue is CJ Stroud doesn't care if he's on the field because so far he hasn't been throwing him the ball that much. With 20 plus routes this season with CJ Stroud, he's under in 3 of 4 games. The only game falling over was that Colts game. Davis Mills liked him a lot more. I'll just say that. It's too small of a sample size to really say, hey, who cares if Jaden Higgins is on the field? CJ Stroud's not going to throw to him. I'm not going to go that far. But I will say I think it's something I need to see before I bet it, even though Jaden Higgins has looked better recently.
And the offensive design has pushed for more Jaden Higgins as well. But we just have to see more with CJ playing quarterback too.
Absolutely. Before we get into the parlays, real quick, you guys saw a lot of this screen sharing going on of the website that we do most of our research on. It is a website that we built. It is a website that we built for you guys. If you guys want access to it, we're still in the early stages. Just scan that QR code in the bottom right of the screen, and you'll be taken to give you access to this website, or DM us one of us on Twitter, and we'll send you the link. Other than that, make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube video to make sure you don't miss any future videos, because we got 2 parlays coming, and we're going to have parlays coming every video for Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, and whatever other night football you guys want us to make videos, we'll be there. So let's get to these parlays. And the first one, the PrimeTime Parlay, the one that isn't safe because it is still a plus money parlay, but we call it safer because you'll see what the second parlay is here in a second. But we got Chiefs minus 2.5 on the spread. Whenever we bet against the Chiefs, it doesn't go well. I think we got it. We got them once on Thanksgiving with Dallas. I'm not going to try my luck again. We're going to go back to the Chiefs this time. I will say I think that if any team is going to have success offensively, dinking and dunking against a team that's going to stop the run and limit downfield plays, it's going to be Mahomes and the Chiefs. So I think we do see offensive success there. And Stroud does not do good against these defensive schemes. So I'm not expecting too much from the Texans offense. So Chiefs minus 2.5, no sweat. Then it's the Rashee Rice Day 6+ receptions. He is the security blanket, the possession receiver. He is who Mahomes wants to go to as his first read, as his quick throw, and that's what's going to have to happen in this game. 6+ receptions is light work. And then for the touchdown bet, we talked about how you want to target the rushing touchdowns for both of these teams, both the Texans and the Chiefs. That's been Kareem Hunt pretty much the whole season, especially recently. But we didn't want to miss out on the fact that Rashee Rice's red zone usage has been absolutely ridiculous lately. So we took the either player prop on FanDuel for Rashee Rice or Kareem Hunt. All this together is plus 265 with the 25% Sunday Night Football boost that FanDuel was offering. $50 to win $182. Go ahead and lock that in. And for the not safe lotto, the one that I was mentioning, plus 1560. We took Rashee Rice up from 6 receptions to 8 receptions. Dalton Schultz, 5 receptions. I told you guys, he's the only person that I want to bet an over on for the Houston Texans in this matchup. The matchup makes sense. The usage makes sense. Dalton Schultz should be able to secure us 5 receptions here. We took the Chiefs spread alternate line at minus 6.5. They win. They're probably going to take care of business pretty strongly and win by at least a touchdown. And we needed to get a 4th leg to activate this boost at 30%. So we took the alternate total at 29.5. That was the lowest they would allow us to go. That's plus 1560. $50 wins $830. Go ahead and lock that in. We will include the link for both of these parlays in the description below to autofill, and all you have to do is click a few buttons, and boom, you got this locked in. You're tailing, so make sure you check that out in the details below. Other than that, JJ, that is everything we have for the people. We got analysis, we got parlays. We're excited for this game. The only thing left for you to do is sign us off with a little bit of good luck charm.
It's Rashee Rice Day. That's all we need.
Let's get it, man. All right, good luck, everybody. Let's make some money, and let's all be big Rashee Rice fans tonight. Take care.